AviationPros.com is the portal website for AMT, Airport Business, and Ground Support Worldwide magazines. Visit daily for breaking news, industry blogs, and insightful articles from our magazine's editorial team. And don't forget to sign up for our publication's daily e-newsletters. It's all at AviationPros.com.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Aviation Pros podcast. I'm Joe Petrie, Editorial Director for the Endeavor Aviation Group. Long Beach Airport is long noted for its historic infrastructure and unique roles in the airspace in Southern California. Despite its small physical size and local restrictions on flight operations, the airport continues to thrive and grow under the leadership of Cynthia Guidry. The Airport Leadership World will soon descend on Long Beach for the Airports Council International North America Annual Conference, so I sat down with Cynthia to talk about Long Beach, its future, and how she sees its growth for the next generation. Well, Cynthia, thank you for speaking with us today. I really appreciate you taking the time. I know things are very hectic with ACI coming up, and you have a lot of things going on at Long Beach. So the first question I have for it is, tell us a little bit about you to start with. Tell us about your background. How did you end up in this path in aviation, and how did you end up at Long Beach?
Absolutely. Well, okay, I'll try not to bore you with a super long story, but I'll start out by saying I had no idea that I wanted to be an airport director. My background is actually in civil engineering. That's what I have my degree in. And so I started my career really just learning about planning, design, building, construction, various projects. And I stumbled across a position at a place that always has construction going on. And matter of fact, they still have construction going on, which is LAX. So I started working at Los Angeles World Airport back in 2001. And that really opened up my eyes to what really aviation was all about. So it was more than just doing projects there. It was also learning about the why and understanding how does an airport operate. What are all the many diverse careers and functions that really make an airport, which is like a little bitty city, operate. And so that's where I got started in my career, and it's been blossoming ever since. And about 4 years ago, there was an opening to be a director here in Long Beach, which is my city that I reside in. And it was just a wonderful opportunity to come in this organization, which is really a phenomenal place to work, and be able to have an opportunity to put my little thumbprint on what's happening right here in Long Beach. And so I left LAWA as a deputy executive director over planning and programming, 4 years ago, a little bit over 4 years ago, and been here at Long Beach, just really having a great time with a wonderful team.
Now, Long Beach has a very rich history. Everyone knows it's structurally, it's a very beautiful airport. It's also 100 years old. Tell us about tell us about the current state of the airport and where it's going.
Oh my goodness. So we have so much happening right now. And one of the great things is that being 100, and we don't look like we're 100. We look like, to me, just this great kind of fresh, new, and super cool airport. And so we are, I believe, America's coolest airport, and it's just a wonderful opportunity to be able to kind of look at our rich history that started back in 1923, the golden age of aviation, really to help foster the development of this industry. And so we had pioneers here, really just working on learning about aviation, just key people in our industry that really kicked off this airport. First it was at the sandy beaches of Long Beach, and then quickly navigated onto here more in inland as in the initiation of Gordy Field to allow us to be the airport that we are today. And so I'll say what we have going on here, a multi-phased modernization program. It's a $122 million project, and it was something we've been just really proud to execute. We started right before construction right before the pandemic. And there was a little nervous point as far as, when travel was down, but we pushed forward, and we're just so excited to be able to bring these strategic pre-security improvements right here at this airport. And so uh, just last year, we opened up our new ticketing lobby. It's a beautiful, beautiful new structure. We're working on our LEED Silver certification for that building, but that has replaced the ticketing functions that were originally in our historic terminal. And so that historic terminal, we're undergoing renovation of right now. It's just a lovely piece of history, a local historic landmark right here at the airport that we're renovating and doing a seismic upgrade, as well as some other improvements. But I will tell you this, it will also be the future home of our rental car counters. And so just bringing some great use to that old historic building, keeping just the beautiful mosaic tile, the classic streamlined modern style that it has. We're able to continue that rich history in this renovation. And so just excited about that. We also just recently opened up a new baggage claim facility just a few months ago. And so seeing that come to fruition. Anyone knows our airport, we have this indoor-outdoor vibe, if you will. And so to be able to open up the baggage claim, which certainly also complements that design, is just another testament of some of the great work that we're doing here. So we're staying busy, again, knowing that we are turning 100 in November. So just really excited about all the things that we have going. We have so much more, and maybe we'll get a chance to talk about that as well.
Right. And of course, Long Beach is a important airport and an incredibly important airspace in our country in Southern California. I want to know from your perspective, what do you see as the biggest growth opportunity for the airport, and how do you see it moving in this direction?
So that's a great question. So for us, and let me just pause and say, yes, we very much have a strong noise ordinance that does do a lot of control have a lot of local control over our growth and our potential here at this airport. But we currently have 3 major carriers here and 24 nonstop destinations, which I will say is the most we've ever had at this airport. And so to be able to say that is just really great, as you can kind of see where we're strategically located. Just a great opportunity even to be able to have those numbers of destinations today. But our location is just as I quickly mentioned, is strategic in that we're a little south of another airport that's north of us, a big one, and also north of a similar smaller airport. They're slightly bigger than us in Orange County, but we know that here what makes us uniquely different is so many things. It's not just yeah, we're an airport. I mean, we do have a history of so many awards here, but there's a certain charm, a certain essence, if you will, that we carry at this airport. Certainly, when I look at the future, I want us to maintain our easy-going travel experience for our passengers, to be able to have an airport where it's 15 minutes from curb to gate. That's such a special piece of travel that we have. Also, our technology, our predictability for our passengers. Certainly, as we move forward, being able to provide all these fresh, newer amenities, not just the technical piece, but also art, and celebrating that as well at this airport. And so, all these different things about what we do here makes us extra special. And as I look forward to the future, yes, it is all about the facility improvements, but it's also about having a well-rounded experience for our passengers. We also have a responsibility for our within and for our community and making sure that one that we're a sustainable airport, and that we're very much so looking forward to how is it that we can preserve um, our facilities and be resilient, but also about how's our recycling program? What's our, we have a food scrap program that not a lot of people know about, but just even unique projects like that. We have a strong solar project. We're about to finish up on a solar array here on top of our parking structures that will, once it's energized, will provide enough energy for 70% of our campus. That's a great project that, when I look at the future, it's what are all these things that we can do to keep us moving the needle in the right direction. Certainly, we also when I speak about art, we're about to really reveal a beautiful video wall that we've been working on, and so just different things that make us unique as I look toward the future at this airport. Certainly will go a long way for our passengers as well as for our team, our staff that is responsible for being the stewards here. Certainly, we also have, a robust program for improving our airfield and some of our other functions that we have. We're looking at bringing in a new concession on the top floor of our historic building. So that's been an event place that has been closed down for quite some time. But we're looking forward to bringing that kind of old school entertainment center, if you will, at the second floor of our historic terminal, and it has the backdrop of a nice patio on the backside of it, which is going to be phenomenal once it's reopened. So there's a few things that we're doing, and as well as a few more up our sleeve.
Yeah, it's definitely a busy time for Long Beach.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that with the historic terminal. I know it's been closed this year as part of an $18 million renovation you had mentioned.
Yep.
Tell us about the current status of that project and how it's proceeding.
It's so amazing, and I feel like it's this project that, when you're working on things and there's just these milestones, you're revealing this and you're revealing that as as we're kind of peeling back this old carpet in some places and discovering, just a beautiful mosaic tile that's been there that really hasn't been seen. And so we're doing great on the project. And I do want to clarify, we are still open. Just because we're doing a lot of this renovation work on our historic terminal, we are still open. The airport is open. But this project is just showing us how much we really need to appreciate not just our place in history, but the significance of the many people who really came in and out of that structure. The phenomenal folks, and I'll just quickly mention that architecture was designed by William Horace Austin and Kenneth Smith Wing. Uh, just to realize the amazing work that was done, back in the early 1940s, to be able to uncover that and see, their vision, and to see that vision and architectural style complemented as we move forward all the other modernizations in and around the historic terminal. And so we're just really excited that next spring, next early 2024 timeframe, that building will reopen, and we'll be able to really celebrate just that the beautiful architectural style and hard work that went through the construction of that facility, and celebrate that with all of our passengers. The other fun thing about it that I have to add here, uh, gosh, the west side, to the back of the historic terminal, has been closed. That's another feature that we're going to change. It's been closed for gosh, over a decade, maybe even longer, maybe almost 20 years. We will reopen uh, that opening, that back kind of entrance exit uh, uh, area, and so that will also really bring another space for us for our passengers to be able to dwell and really look at. We plan on having some great things for them to see from a historical standpoint in that space. So to be able to come in and out of the backside of that building and restore that is another phenomenal feature. And so just the things that we have in store for that historic terminal moving forward. I can't wait for everyone to see it and for us to celebrate it together in 2024.
So there's a lot of new things coming. I love to hear that this is coming on board, because it's always
Yeah.
great to see, especially embracing the past too, when it comes to improving our airports and taking advantage of that infrastructure you do have. And some people that might have not been to Long Beach in a year, even for that matter, you mentioned the opening of the $25 million consolidated baggage claim earlier this year. Tell us a little about this project and how it's been helping improve operations for your facility.
Well, for those that used our older facility, and it was outdoor, and I feel like when I remember that older facility, it seemed like it was probably only 15 or 20 feet long, but it was longer than that. But it just seemed so short, and everyone's kind of jockeying for position. Our brand new baggage claim facility is absolutely amazing. We did consolidate three different previous locations into one new bag claim area. And so we have these two robust, long, heavy industrial baggage conveyors that make it really easy and convenient for our passengers to obtain their bag, and it's again, that indoor outdoor look. But there's also a wall in the bag claim facility that's glass, and you could see actually into post security areas. So you could actually see where the planes are parking and passengers deplaning. But you also get to see our lovely fire pit on the other side. And it's, you look at things on a plan and you say, okay, that looks good. But when you see it in reality and see that structure built, um, you really get to feel that, oh, wow, this is a game changer for Long Beach Airport. And our bag claim, I mean, who would have thought that a black bag claim would have a wow factor? It does. And that's what I think is exciting when passengers, if they haven't been here for a year, to be able to come back and see, what has changed. It has a beautiful terrazzo floor placed in, and those were different upgrades that we put in later. I mean, it's just a wonderful project that came out better than we expected. And so I do believe that those folks that haven't been here for a while, they will see it and really appreciate how beautiful it is.
Mhm. So tell me, there's a lot you've been accomplished this year. What's the next? What are the next goals to the airport's terminal area improvement plan, and when will we start to
Oh
see
my
those come on
goodness.
board?
We still have a lot of work to do. So we've been so fortunate to have these check marks by some of these projects, but we also were able to take advantage of the bipartisan infrastructure law, and we have one project that we're about to kick off right now, actually, and it'll be in construction the majority of 2024, and that's our terminal roadway improvement. So we have this is our access road for vehicles and buses, and our ride sharing uh, lanes, and so that whole new kind of ring road, if you will get a upgrade, and we're looking at some major accessibility improvements, lane improvements, signage improvements, wayfinding improvements. That's what's in store for next year. And so as we open up some of these other things that we've accomplished as part of phase two, that's another piece that will be a great improvement for the airport. As I mentioned, solar earlier in the chat here. But we're also looking at some of the little things we're doing to get ready for the Olympics. And so uh, 28 is not that far away. And there are some things that we're looking at, we're entertaining just as additional features really to get ready for the 28 Olympics. We also have 26 World Cup here in LA. And so, we're also looking at what are the little things, all the little plus things that we can do. As we know, as airports, we're often, the front door as people travel in and out of this great region here, to be able to welcome them and to also provide whatever amenities and support they need as they're traveling in and out of our city. So a lot of great things continue to be in store, but seeing that roadway improvements move forward in our schedule is a wonderful thing. We also have a couple of other ground transportation improvements that we're looking forward to in the near future as well. So stay tuned.
Yeah, I do want to go back to that Olympics point you had mentioned, being only
Yeah,
4 years away. It's no secret how much the city of Los Angeles has been investing in infrastructure, how much LAWA has been investing in
yeah.
infrastructure, getting prepared for this. Tell me, how is Long Beach preparing for this event? And really, how is the airport seeing its role as far as serving all the people that are going to be coming into the region for the games?
Yeah, so we've heard the news that it's supposed to be kind of a carless Olympics, and with Long Beach, I know a few of the venues are down here in our great city. So recognizing that we want to be a place that, as those who are participating in the games or watching the games, and the thousands of people that are coming in and out of this region, it's important that all airports are ready, and we want to be right there, ready just as everyone else, and featuring our coolest award-winning airport. And so, being sure that, how do we fit in the network of mobility here in our region is important to us. So, making sure that those connections are taking place, and that we're all working together with the other many departments in our city, with the other kind of regional, if you will, transportation organizations within our region is important. So all of it starts now as far as the conversations and the planning and preparation to be Olympic ready. But I am so glad to see our region already beginning those conversations. And the Super Bowl, having experienced that not too long ago, and there's probably going to be another one here before the Olympics. All these are great test runs for what we're going to experience, on steroids in 2028. So just excited that Long Beach Airport, will be another gateway for our region, and being able to accept that, and provide passengers a first class experience when they use our airport. So um, definitely looking forward to it. We're one of the top 10 airports according to Condé Nast, and so we want to make sure we stay in the top 10 um, as these years move forward. So really excited about it.
Yeah, I have no doubt you'll be able to keep that up with the moves you're making.
Thank
And
you.
yes, and I had the question about, you had mentioned a lot of different sustainability initiatives that the airport has undertaken. And I know 2 years ago, Long Beach reached level 2 in the airport carbon accreditation program.
Yes.
Where are you guys at in this program to this point? Is it still progressing?
Yes, it is. And I'll just share with you that we pledged to reduce emissions, and this is kind of based on 2016 was our baseline level. So we pledge to reduce emissions on a per passenger basis, and those percentages were 20% in 2025 and 40% in 2030. And I can tell you, just as on our steps to becoming carbon neutral, we are well on our way in meeting those targets, and actually having conversations internally about even being more aggressive, because we're doing such a great job. And I really want to commend our team, but also our tenants are making major infrastructure improvements and doing what they can to likewise reduce emissions. And so it's you realize, when we're embarking on these pledges, that it's not just about us. It's about how can we encourage, inspire our airport as a whole to move forward and progress well in this. So it is absolutely in the forefront of everything that we're doing. I'll share a few other things that we're doing as well in the sustainability front. Is we're also very excited to offer unleaded fuel here. That's another big important initiative within this airport and within our surrounding community, as we're all looking to have unleaded skies in the future. And so we're fortunate to be one of the first airports in our country, along with, there's probably about maybe a dozen or so, about a dozen airports in the state of California that are providing unleaded fuel. So be able to be in that first kind of group, if you will, of airports to have it here. And this is really in partnership with one of our FBOs, fixed base operators, at Signature Flight Support and Aeroplex Aviation. To have that opportunity to do that is really, 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 really wonderful. And then the other thing that we're doing, I mentioned things like our food scrap recycling program, but also putting LEDs on our runway. I mean, you talk about a major a program that was months long of construction, but to replace all of our runway light with LEDs, so it's lighter, it's brighter, it's more efficient. Is just a wonderful opportunity, and just things like that allow us to continue to move forward and feel proud about what we're contributing on, as far as in the positive action, because these are things we don't absolutely have to do. We want to do it, and so it's great to see us move forward in that way.
Mhm. And outside of infrastructure, the other important goal of everything in
Yeah.
airports is, of course, the people. And I know you've also, in outside of your role as just director itself, you've been very involved in AMAC as well, having spent time on
Yes.
the board. I was kind of curious to take your thoughts on this. Where is the airport at? Is the industry? What steps does it need to take to ensure diversity is front and center with
Yeah.
addressing the workforce shortage we see in aviation today, and not miss the opportunity to grow representation at all levels of aviation leadership?
Yeah. You absolutely have to be proactive about it, and you have to make certain commitments and decisions from the top all the way down through the organization. Um, it 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 is something that in our industry, I'm looking at, well, what does this industry look like 10 years from now? 15 years from now. And it's amazing, amazing to me when I think about how we all like to fly from a global perspective. We so many of us enjoy being able to hop on a plane and go from point A to point B, but there's such a decline in the people that it takes to run our industry. And this is at all levels, right? It's not just at running an airport. It's about, it's the mechanics, it's the different trades that support the industry. It's from so many different careers, and so I look at what can we do. I don't care if it's a small step. Each and every organization or entity can make a difference. And all those steps that we take individually, collectively, can make a huge impact. We have, the organizations, we have ACI, Airports Council International, we have AAAE, we have, I'm part of AMAC as well as Women in Transportation, and there's Girls in Aviation. There's just so many organizations out there that are leading the charge, if you will, in trying to support this next generation. But it's at an individual airport, or even with the carriers or the tenants that work at airports. If everyone has some sort of initiative and goal that they're working on, we will make an impact and a difference moving forward. There's a shortage of pilots. There's just so much in every area, but the demand is great. The demand continues to increase. So we just have to really make it an effort and build it into everything that we do as an organization. So that's what we're doing here in Long Beach. We were able to successfully launch our Careers Taking Flight program this year, which is, bringing in, we did an externship for high school students. It's not just about uh, letting someone hear about aviation or working in aviation, but it's about showing them, it's about teaching them, and letting them get their hands on it. And so we did an externship for local students here, and those who don't actually probably hear about aviation. So we were very focused on wanting to get Title I high school students in here and get exposed to all the other lines of business at an airport. So it's TSA, it's FAA, all it's just so many different pieces and functions that make this industry work, and allow them to enjoy the beauty of our industry. So, it's exposing them, it's educating them on it, it's inspiring them. All of these things, I believe, are important for us to spread the word and get prepared for including and bringing this next workforce that we desperately need into this industry. So it's all up, it's up, way up and down, sideways, everything about diversity and bringing this in as part of an organization that's going to matter the most. And so we don't do it. I don't know who else is going to do it.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. That's great to hear that taking actions like this to make sure the future is met,
It absolutely has to be. I mean, it's there's no way we're going to do it, unless we make these actions now. I mean, we're really, quite honestly, we're all behind. We are behind. And so we need to catch up, and we need to embed it in all the other things that we do on a daily basis to operate our industry. And so, yeah, I'm a little bit passionate about that. So, yeah, just a little bit.
All right.
Yeah.
And so my last question for you today is, we're just a couple weeks away from the ACI NA annual conference. Everybody from the industry is going to be coming to Long Beach, and a lot of them are going to be coming through your airport.
Yeah.
What's one thing you want your peers traveling through the airport to take away when they see your facility in action?
Oh my goodness, Joe, that's whew. I do want them, and I hinted at this earlier. I want them to walk away saying, Long Beach Airport is the coolest airport in America. It is that's what I want them to walk away from. I want them, and I know we've hosted in the past before, and I know that um, we do have a great place in the industry as far as a reputation of being just a wonderful, charming place. But I want them to see us differently this year. We have an amazing conference that ACI is planned, and we're so excited to help host. It's a wonderful opportunity, but I want them to walk away saying, this truly is the coolest airport.
And I have no doubt you'll do that. It's one of my favorites, honestly. So
thank you, Joe.
Cynthia, thank you. It has been a pleasure speaking with you today, and looking forward to the event in a couple of weeks.
Oh, thank you. Likewise. Thank you.
Thanks again for listening to today's podcast. For more on Long Beach's latest renovations, check out the July-August issue of Airport Business and our website, AviationPros.com, the only website dedicated to all aspects of airport operations. I'm Joe Petrie. We'll see you next time.